Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online and welcome to Daily Current Affairs session. So these are the articles, very few we have that we are going to cover today. First one, Financial Action Task Force. So this is part of security issues. Security issues, or you can take it as international relations as well, right? So this is an international intergovernmental body, so it can come under international relations as well. Then index of 8 core industries. So this is part of economics. Economics, a very popular one. Frequently you will see this question on index of 8 core industries. Then Lakhpati Didi scheme. This is schemes and policies of government. Schemes, policies. Then we have International MSME Day. Again, this is part of economy. A very popular question again from MSMEs, the categorization and all we will see, right? Then again, non-performing assets from economy. So we have a good number of articles from economy today, and then some factual pointers, finally practice questions, right? So these are all the articles that we are going to cover today. I hope my voice as well as video is clear. Very good evening, Keshav and Malini. Welcome to the session. So let's start for the first article, that is Financial Action Task Force. The context is, recently it has evaluated, this FATF has evaluated different countries, how they are performing in terms of taking care of terror financing or financial frauds and all, and out of that India was said to be have achieved an outstanding performance. So India was placed at a good ranking when compared to the other G20 countries. India was performing well, right? So there was an article in the Hindu, so from that itself we have taken this article, right? So before knowing what actually the FATF said, let's know about FATF, Financial Action Task Force. You all know that there's a lot of money laundering. That means illegally money is shifted from one country to other country, and then that money can also be given as a funding for terrorist organization. You all know that there is a lot of countries which are supporting the terror, right? Even USA has supported certain terrorist organization in Afghanistan, Iran and all. And even Pakistan also sponsors certain terrorism against India, right? So in this background, all the countries have decided that we should not shift our money towards any illegal activities like money laundering or terror financing. So all these countries have come together, and in 1989, they have established the Financial Action Task Force. What is the objective? To combat the money laundering. That means illegal shifting of money should not happen between the countries, and also later it was added to the terror financing as well, right? So earlier when it was launched, it was taking care only about money laundering in 1989. But later in 2001, it has also added terror financing. So question may be asked in statements if you are writing the higher level of exams that terror financing was the objective since 1989. No, it was added only in 2001. Till that time, it was taking care only about the money laundering, right? So this is a few points. And then where is it headquarters? So that can also be asked in the exam. It is headquartered at Paris, France, right? And the total as of now, 39 countries are part of this. Not all United Nations countries are part of this organization. Only few countries, that is 39 countries are part of this FATF, right? Including India. Of course, we need to remember that our country is part of it, but it is not a founding member. We did not join in 1989. Rather, we joined after a few years, that is in 2010. So India became a full-time member in FATF only in 2010. So all these facts you need to remember as well, right? So this is about the Financial Action Task Force. You need to know about what actually this organization is, who established it. So they have this G7 summit, which was happened in Paris 1989. The G7 countries together have established this. Later, all other countries have joined it. And what is the objective that you need to know? And few more facts about this. FATF also maintains the two important lists, grey list and blacklist. So grey list is the one which those countries are kept here that they are supporting, or indirectly or directly they are not in compliance with the FATF rules and regulations. That means it may lead, these countries may lead for the terror financing as well as money laundering. So such countries which are not compliant with the FATF rules are kept under grey list, and black list, very few countries will be there, 1 or 2, which are actually against the rules of FATF. That means they are highly supporting the terror financing, like Iran, Afghanistan were the few countries which were kept under the blacklist, right? So these are the 2 lists maintained by the FATF, so that if this list is placed, the countries will not trade with these countries because they are troublesome countries, right? So that's why countries will try to not part of these 2 lists, right? So that is the objective of the FATF when it was launched, which organization, and about the objectives, that is money laundering and terror financing, and when India was when India has joined this, all these things you have to remember, right? Now about the report that they have recently released. The report name is Mutual Evaluation Report. This report name is also important. They may also ask you mutual evaluation report, sometimes mentioned in news, related to what? So this is related to the FATF itself. Don't confuse with other organization, right? So it has evaluated different countries, and we don't need to worry about other countries. Let's know about our own country, that is India, where India has placed, right? So in the 2023-24 evaluation, India was kept at the regular follow-up category. Regular follow-up category. That means India is regularly keeping up the rules, any advancement if required. So India is keeping up all the rules and regulations of the FATF, and India is the only few countries out of G20 countries, there are only 4 or 5 countries which were kept under this regular follow-up category, and India was put under the regular follow-up category, so which is a good sign. And the report also lauded India that it is in a very good technical compliance as well as achieving the good results related to the money laundering and terror financing. So basically it is praising India for it taking care of all the rules and regulations of the FATF. So this is about the FATF and its report. Any doubts in this? Very good evening, Srinath. Yeah. So next article, if you have any doubts, you can ask here. Next article, index of 8 core industries. Index for 8 core industries. First, before knowing this, let's know about the economist, how we can estimate the industries. We have a number of industries, more than 300, 400 industries are there. So how can you evaluate it? How can you evaluate this industry? So it is based on the growth itself. Like for example, there is a textile sector, there is a food processing sector, there is an electricity sector. So how much GDP they are adding to the economy? GDP means, we have discussed many times, whatever the economy or growth it has added. For example, 2012 is the base year currently. From this year, we will evaluate every year, right? From 2012 till we will see the growth of industries in 2012, and then we compare it with the 2024 or 2023. Based on that, how much growth they have added. So we can calculate all the industries' growth, right? We can calculate all the industries' growth based on their contribution for GDP every year or for every month also. It is calculated for every month as well. So for that, we have Index of Industrial Production, IIP. Don't confuse, there is two different things. Index of 8 core industries and Index of Industrial Production, both are different. So Index of Industrial Production is a broader one for all the industries, 500, 600 industries, whatever there. So it will be calculating all the industries' growth by giving different weightages. Like for example, electricity is more important, so it is given with more 10% of weightage. And textile, or if small industry is there, solar panels and all, it is very small industry, so only 0.5% weightage is given. So you no need to worry about the technicalities. Just that they will prepare one index by combining all the industries' performance in the economy. So that is called as the Index of Industrial Production. How much growth, how much economy they have contributed in the 1 month or 1 year. Whenever they require, they can calculate, right? Out of the IIP, the total Index of Industrial Production, main weightage is given for the manufacturing industries. So you can see here, manufacturing industries occupy 77.63%. So out of the total industry, we have industries in different sectors, not only in manufacturing, we have in mining, we have in electricity as well. But the most dominant one is the manufacturing. then followed by the mining, and then electricity. So they may also ask you in the exam, total index of industrial production is calculated for how many sectors? 3, manufacturing, mining and electricity, right? So this IIP is for all the industries, as we have seen 500 or 600 industries, right? So that is called as the IIP. Now, out of this total 500 or 600 industries, government has estimated or have seen that 40% of this out of 500 or 600 companies, right? 40% goes for this 8 industries, right? The government has noted that 40% of our total industries production is just coming from these 8 industries. We have 500 or 600 industries, right? Out of that, 40% is coming from this particular industries. That's why government every month will estimate this 8 industries performance. You can see here, if that is black color, so you can see here 8 industries are there total. So every month government want to know about the production status of these 8 core industries, right? So this is petroleum and refinery, electricity generation, steel production, coal production, crude oil production, natural production, cement production, fertilizer production. So these are the 8 core industries. You may ask the question, sir, out of 500, 600, why we are only estimating core industries as 8? Because they are contributing more for GDP, right? So they are contributing more for GDP. That's why we are evaluating it together, right? So this is called as the index for core industries, 8 core industries. Index for 8 core industries. You can see here the weightage. In IIP, we have seen there are 500, 600 companies. Out of that, 40% belongs to these 8 core industries, right? So 28%, out of this 8 sectors, petroleum and refinery production is having the highest weightage. So out of 500, 600 companies, we are estimating the performance of only 8 because they are the more important one. Out of that 8 core industries index, petroleum and refinery production is having the highest weightage, right? So this all 8 companies or industries are 40% weightage to the total industries. Out of this 8 itself, again there is a division which are more important. That is petroleum and refinery production 28%, electricity generation 19.85% is given, steel production 17.9. So at least top 2 or 3 you need to remember, and the least one also you need to remember, right? Fertilizers production is having the least. You also need to know about the 8 core industries. You have to remember these 8 core industries as well, because they will be giving like 10 to 15 industries and they may ask you which one or not, right? So any question is possible. You have to remember 8 core industries as well as the highest weightage and the lowest weightage, right? So this is about the index of 8 core industries. We have seen IIP, and then index of 8 core industries also we have seen, right? So this is about 8 core industries. We have also few more facts. This is prepared every month. This is prepared every month, right? To estimate the status of 8 core industries, we are preparing for every month. And who prepares this? Office of Economic Advisor under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So this is the organization which is taking care. Office of Economic Advisor under Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade through Ministry of Commerce. So these 8 core industries are having weightage of 40.27 out of index of industrial production, which is having the 500 companies. 500, 600 companies are there, right? So this is about the index of 8 core industries. Any doubts in this? Very good evening, Sirisha. Any doubts in this? Is this clear? Because you may confuse a little, because what is this IIP and what is index of 8 core industries? I hope this is clear. Please do respond so that I will know whether you are understanding or not, right? Okay, so I'm moving ahead with the next article, that is Lakhpati Didi scheme. Lakhpati Didi scheme, right? So the context is, this is taken from Press Information Bureau, that Ministry of Agriculture recently, Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, he is one of past Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. So he was now in the Ministry of, he's the Ministry of Agriculture. So recently he has conducted the review meeting for the Lakhpati Didi scheme, right? So that's why we have taken this article. Okay, thank you Ranjan, Malini and Srinath for your response. So let's know about this particular scheme. What is the objective when it was launched and if there is any features? So that also we will know, right? So this scheme was announced by Prime Minister in August 2023 on August 15 on our Independence Day, right? So this was launched in 2023. And what is the aim? If you see the status of women in India, only 23% are in the rural, especially 23 to 24% women are participating in the economy. And in rural also it is around 40 to 45. Whereas for men, it is more than 80%. So that means there is a gender inequality in our society. So women is not just restricted to home. They should participate in the economy. They should stay independent, right? So that is one of the important element for a woman. For that particular purpose, government has come up with Lakhpati Didi scheme, with the aim to give them skills. See, if you see a lot of mechanical jobs like plumbing, all those things, mostly there are men, right? Women are mostly absent. They were highly present in the software, or in the rural areas it is agriculture, right? So because of the diversification of participation, the women participation in the economy is less, right? So for that purpose, government aim to train the women, 2 crore women. This is also one important fact. The scheme aims to train 2 crore women to participate in this all skills like plumbing, LED bulb making, right? Drone operation, repairs, tailoring, all these skills aims to give for the women so that they will get the self-employment, right? They will get the self-employment also through self-help groups. Self-help groups means a small group coming together and then starting business. From profit, they will share among themselves, right? Those are called as the self-help groups, right? So this scheme also aims to promote the self-help groups. Also, one more objective of this scheme is to generate at least 1 lakh rupees per household per woman in a year. So for every year, a woman should earn at least 1 lakh rupees through this particular skills. So that is also one more aim of this particular scheme, right? And one more important fact, this scheme was launched under already existing scheme, that is Deen Dayal Upadhyaya National Rural Livelihood Mission, NRLM, National Rural Livelihood Mission. So already there was a scheme launched by the government, that is Deen Dayal Upadhyaya National Rural Livelihood Mission. Under this scheme, it was launched. So in exam, they may ask you, Lakhpati Didi scheme was launched under which scheme, right? That is Deen Dayal Upadhyaya National Rural Livelihood Mission. Fine. So this is the fact. Now let's also briefly know about the Deen Dayal Upadhyaya National Rural Livelihood Mission, right? So let's also know that this is a scheme aiming to alleviate poverty. You all know poverty exists in most of the parts of rural areas specifically. So the aim of this scheme is to eliminate the poverty, right? It is to alleviate the poverty, right? And it was launched by Ministry of Rural Development. This scheme was launched by Ministry of Rural Development. So Lakhpati Didi scheme is also part of or launched by the Ministry of Rural Development itself. That is also one important fact, right? And how can they alleviate this poverty among the people? The most important thing to be self-independent is to get the employment. Most of the people, they are in poverty because they don't have employment. They don't have work to do. They don't have money also, so that because of lack of work, they also don't have money, right? So for that purpose, the government aim to train the youth or the people, whoever are unemployment, with proper skills and also generate the employment for themselves, right? So that is the objective of this scheme, and as part of this scheme only, they have specifically launched for the women, Lakhpati Didi scheme. So this is about the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission. Fine? Any doubts in this? Okay, let's move to the next article, that is International MSME Day. Fine? So this is fact. I could have added this in the factual pointers, but there is a classification definition of MSME. So that is very, very important. In UPSC 2023, they have asked about the MSME definition also. So yes, there is a possibility as part of your economy, right? So Old Micro, Small and Medium Scale Industries MSMEs Day was celebrated on June 27. A very important fact. World MSME Day is celebrated on June 27th, and the theme of this year is MSMEs and Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainable Development Goals, you all know that we are aiming to achieve certain 17 goals under United Nations by 2030, right? By 2030 we are aiming to achieve those Sustainable Development Goals. So MSMEs and SDGs are the theme of this year particular MSME Day, right? Now, the importance of MSMEs. Why the small scale industries are very important? Now, government is encouraging through lot of schemes, right? Mudra Yojana, right? So small loans, they are encouraging self-help groups. The small industries are important because they account for 90% of business in the world. In the whole world, 90% of the business are coming from the small and medium scale industries only, right? And 60 to 70% of employment is coming again from MSMEs. So such a huge contribution is they are making for the economy. That's why governments are encouraging the MSMEs. And when coming to the India, the share of MSME gross value added, GVA, the total contribution for economy is around 29% to the total GVA, and export amounts to 43.59%. So to the exports also they are contributing more than 40%. So that's why it is a very important to encourage them to generate more economy as well as growth for our country, right? And you need to know about the classification definition also, many times been asked. So what are all like micro, small and medium? How can they are categorized, right? They are categorized based on two things. One is investment and second one is turnover, right? So you need to know about the basics also. Investments means whatever the capital you are keeping for your business. For example, I want to start any small papad business. So how much investment I am doing it? So that is one criteria, investment. And second one is turnover. Turnover is the total amount that I will be getting through my sales. Of course, I need to pay to salaries and then I need to pay my loans. All those things are included. Just that at the end, how much sales, how much amount of sales that I am able to do in the 1 year span. That is called as the turnover, right? Within this turnover itself, I will be having loans or salaries to be given to my employees. That will be taken care later, right? So that is called as the turnover. The total sales, the amount that I got from the sales that I have made in 1 year. Now, what is the criteria for micro industries? The thing is, investment should be less than 1 crore. Investment should be less than 1 crore. Turnover should be less than 5 crore, right? So investment up to 1 crore, they are categorized under micro, and turnover, the total sales that I will be selling in the market, that should be less than 5 crore. So if this is the criteria, then they are categorized as micro. Next one, into 10. Into 10, the small ones, the small industries means their investment should be less than 10 crore. More than 1 crore, but less than 10 crore. And turnover, less than 50 crore. So into 10 again. Into 10. I'm giving you the hint how to remember, right? So micro is 1 crore and 5 crore. And then small is, investment is should be less than 10 crore. And turnover is less than 50 crore, right? Next one, into 2. This is into 10, this is into 2, right? For medium industries, the investment should be less than 20 crore, right? And the turnover should be less than 100 crore, again multiplied by 2, right? So the turnover should be less than 100 crore. If that is more, investment is more than 20 crore or turnover is more than 100 crore, they are categorized as the major industries, right? So this is the classification currently we are following. A very important one, many exams they will ask you this question, the categorization, right? So this is about the MSMEs. Any doubts in this? Okay. Last article, and again very important article from economy. Recently, RBI has published Financial Stability Report. This is also important for us. Financial Stability Report is published by which organization, they may ask? that is RBI itself, right? So it has released this report, and in that report, it has noted that the gross NPAs, non-performing assets, we will see what actually the classification of NPAs, no need to worry, just understand the figure, you need to remember this. The gross NPAs, the total non-performing assets, are just 2.8% of the total loans given by the banks. What are non-performing assets? Non-performing assets means those loans which were not paid by the individuals or companies on a correct time, right? So every month you need to pay your EMI, or every month you need to pay your loans, right? If that is not happening, that can be categorized as a non-performing asset. We will see the criteria, just understand the definition. So those loans which are not paid on time are called as non-performing assets, and only 2.8%, that means more than 97.2%, yes, 97.2% people are paying their loans and EMIs on right time. Only 2.8% of the people are not paying their loans and whatever EMIs. So those are called as non-performing assets, right? So now non-performing assets, there is a criteria for it. This is also very, very important that you need to remember the classification. This is a very important fact, right? So whatever the loans and advances given by banks, right? If they are paid at a regular, that means every month if you are paying your loan EMI, that is called as the regular, right? So there is no discrepancy in it. If you are not paying it for 1 to 30 days, that means from July 1 till July 30, you should pay. If that is the deadline, if that is crossed, so your last date is July 30, and of that is crossed, that is August 2nd it went, but still you did not pay, that is categorized as a special mention account 0. So SMA means special mention account. So this is maintained by the banks to notify this stressed assets. Yeah, one more important thing, if you starting from 1 day till 90 days of bracket, that means from July 30 is your last day to pay your EMI, August, September, October. In these 3 months, that is 1 to 90 days, if that is the criteria of non-payment, those are called as stressed assets. That means they are non-performing, not non-performing, but just in stress. So they may pay or they may not pay in the coming days, right? Within that stressed assets, 1 to 30 days if you are not paying, that is called as special mention account 0. If it crosses 31 to 60 days, up to 31 to 60 days, it is called as special mention account 1. And then 61 to 90 days, if you still not paid, that is categorized under special mention account 2. So this categorization is very, very important. I hope you understood. You need to know about the regular payments, that is everyone are paying the regular manner. Stressed assets means they are not paying below 90 days, right? Within 90 days if they are not paying, that is again categorized into SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2, right? Now after 90 days also, after 3 months, like August, July 30 is your last date, August, September, October also crossed. More than if it is 90 days, then only they will be categorized as non-performing assets. Stress assets is 1 to 90 days. If 90 days has crossed and there is still non-payment, that is categorized as non-performing assets. Within non-performing assets, again there is a categorization. Substandard assets. Substandard assets. So these are the ones which does not pay from 90 days to 12 months, that is 365 days. So within 1 year, if there is no payments, that is called as the substandard asset. Then comes doubtful assets. These are more than 12 months. So they have crossed 1 year, still they did not pay EMI. So that is categorized as a doubtful asset. So they have doubted now that whether I will get it or not. And finally, loss assets. So these are non-recoverable. So they will notify that this is a very doubtful. I mean, we won't be able to get this. So those are categorized under loss assets. So Vijay Mallya, who has went out of our country, they are considered as a loss asset. So he did not pay any of his loan more than 3-4 years. So they are categorized as a loss asset, right? So this classification is very, very important. Many times they are asking questions on this. You need to know about stressed assets and then non-performing assets, right? 1 day to 90 days if there is no payment by EMIs or loans, those are under stressed assets subcategorization. If more than 90 days, then they will become the non-performing assets. Within that again there is a substandard, doubtful and loss asset. Is this clear? Again a very important one to be remembered from economy. Most of the economy questions will be asked from the current affairs itself, right? 50% there will be static, 50% there will be current affairs. I hope this is clear. Any doubts in this? Great. So now factual pointers from today's ones. Let's see what are all those. Yeah. Recently, a report by World Bank has raised the concerns about intensive and animal agriculture, that is livestock rearing. Livestock like goats, pigs, all those things comes under the factory farming or animal agriculture. So I just want to make you know about the definition of factory farming. Factory farming is nothing but the livestock rearing for a commercial purpose with proper investments, right? So factory farming means livestock rearing with a proper facilities, right? You can see here. Those are called as the factory farming. So this is also economy. Sometimes they may also ask you the definitions, right? What is factory farming? This is nothing but the livestock and poultry rearing. One more thing is there, truck farming. Truck farming. Truck farming. Truck farming means cultivation of fruits and vegetables. So that is called as a truck farming. Cultivation of fruits and vegetables, livestock and poultry. This is factory farming, right? Next one, privilege committee. Privilege committee of Rajya Sabha. In Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha, we have a number of committees like privilege committee we have, business committee we have, so that the parliament will work in a much faster way. These privilege committees are established to protect the rights and privileges of the MPs, whoever has elected. So these privileges should not be breached, right? So those are called as the privileges. That means the benefits given to those individuals who are elected as part of the parliament. Those are called as the privileges. So if anyone is violating, then the house can take action on them, right? So that's why for that particular purpose, privilege committees are established separately in Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha, right? Yeah. So that is about the privilege committee. Now, the context is privilege committee recently has held 12 opposition MPs guilty of misconduct. So they have disrupted the house. Even MPs can also be punished under the privileges committee. Not only the members of the parliament, outsiders can also be punished by this privilege committee, right? They can take action against outsiders also, right? So this is the context. Now, privilege committee of Rajya Sabha is responsible to take care of the privileges given to the members. The committee consists of 10 members. The committee of the Rajya Sabha privilege committee consists of 10 members, and those are nominated by the Rajya Sabha chairman. That means vice president itself. So vice president is the chairman of Rajya Sabha, right? So he will be nominating the 10 members on his wish, right? So that is about one important fact. And for Lok Sabha, the members are 15 because Lok Sabha is a bigger house. We have 543 members. Rajya Sabha it's just 245. So that's why 15 members are part of it, and they are nominated by the speaker itself. So speaker of the Lok Sabha itself nominates this member. And the chairman of this committee will be again appointed by the chairman. Rajya Sabha chairman will appoint the chairman of this particular privilege committee. And similarly, speaker of Lok Sabha appoints the chairman of this 15-member privilege committee. So it is completely on the chairman or the speaker whom to be appointed and whom to be appointed as a chairman, right? So this is about the committee on privileges. Next one, South Korea, USA and Japan together, they are conducting the multi-domain exercise. That means it is not just about military or air force or navy, it is a combination of the three things, right? The exercise name is Freedom Edge. They may also ask you this exam. Which countries are involved in the recently conducted Freedom Edge multi-domain exercise? That is South Korea, Japan and USA. And this was recently happened in South Korea's island, one of the islands in Jeju. right? This is the place where the exercise has happened. Next one, Union Ministry for Science and Technology has launched 2 geo portals for Bhuvan Panchayat 4.0. So here the important thing is about Bhuvan Panchayat. Bhuvan Panchayat means collecting all the data required, geospatial data that can be about population or land documents, collecting all those documents and implementing the efficient working of the panchayats, right? So that is the objective of Bhuvan Panchayat. So for that purpose itself, Ministry of Science and Technology has launched 2 geospatial portals, right? So that is about the facts of today. Now let's solve the practice questions. Let's see what are the questions for today. First question, which category did India fall into the mutual evaluation report of FATF released in 2023-24? So under which category India has fallen in the mutual evaluation report of FATF? High risk category, enhanced follow-up category, regular follow-up category, critical compliance category. We have discussed this, right? Very direct fact. That is answer, regular follow-up category. Very good. Madhu, Malini and Ranjan has answered it as correct. Srinath as well. Great. Next question. Yeah, so this was taken from previous year question itself, right? Of UPSC CAPF. Let's see the question. Which of the following statements regarding index of 8 core industries? They did not ask about the index of industries, right? Rather they have specifically asked about the index of 8 core industries, right? First statement, the index of 8 core industries comprises the key sectors like textiles, food processing among others. That is the first statement. Second one, index of 8 core industries is compiled and released monthly by Ministry of Finance. So this is the second statement. Third statement, electricity was given with the highest weightage among the 8 core industries. So this is the third statement. So what is the answer for this? First statement, textiles and food processing were not present, right? So you can see here, yeah, these are the 8 core industries, right? So there is no textiles or food processing, and the highest weightage was given for the petroleum and refinery production. So third statement is also wrong, right? So because electricity was given with the highest weightage they are saying, so 1 and 3rd are wrong, and second is also wrong because it is not Ministry of Finance, rather it is a Ministry of Commerce. Ministry of Commerce. So second statement is also wrong, all the statements are wrong, and hence answer is D. Yes, Ranjan, Srinath, Madhu, Keshav, Ranjan, Srinath and Malini have answered it as correct, right? So answer is D. Next question, which of the following features is most likely associated with the Lakhpati Didi scheme? So they have given the 4 statements, and which statement is associated with the Lakhpati Didi scheme is the question. First one, distribution of free agriculture equipment to women farmers. This is the first statement. Encouraging diversification of livelihood activity beyond agriculture. Second one, granting maternity leave benefits to women entrepreneurs. Setting up exclusive rural schools for girls. So what is the associated statement with the Lakhpati Didi scheme? Setting up exclusive rural schools, this is wrong, this is not at all related. Distribution of free agriculture equipment, no, we did not discuss this at all. Encourage diversified livelihood activities beyond agriculture, yes. So this is the aim, to at least generate 1 lakh rupees income every year for a woman. Granting maternity leave is also wrong. So answer is B. So Madhu, Srinath and Malini has answered it as correct, right? Next one, regarding the non-performing assets. So which statement is correct? So with regard to the non-performing assets, which statements are correct they are asking. First one, NPAs are loans and advances where the borrowers has ceased to pay interest or principal payments, right? So either interest or principal amount, so they have ceased, they did not pay the amount. So those are called as the NPAs, first statement. RBI classifies NPA into 3 categories, that is substandard, doubtful and loss assets. So these are the 3 categories of NPAs they are saying. NPAs primarily affect only public sector banks in India. So NPAs they are saying will be affecting only the public sector banks. So which statements are correct? First statement, yes, correct. It is called as NPA if it is not paid by the individuals on right time, whether interest or the principal amount, right? So first statement is correct. So you can eliminate option D. So RBI classifies NPA into 3 categories. Substandard, yes, we have seen doubtful and loss asset. This is also correct. We have seen the 3 categorization. So second is also correct. So you can eliminate this. Third, NPA primarily affects the public sector. No, it can affect the private banks as well. So third statement is wrong and hence answer is B. Yes, Madhu, Srinath, Ranjan, Keshav, Malini, everyone have answered as correct. Next one, there are 2 statements related to the Privilege Committee of Rajya Sabha. They are asking which statements are correct, right? So about the Privileges Committee. Privileges Committee of Rajya Sabha investigates and addresses the breach of parliament privileges. So that is the first statement. Chairman of Privilege Committee of Rajya Sabha is appointed by the President of India. So this is the second statement. Very simple question. Very simple. Last question. Ranjan, it is not maternity leave. See, here there is a maternity leave they are saying. Maternity leave means the, leaves during the childbirth or after the childbirth. There is no such provision under Lakhpati Didi scheme. It is just to encourage them to gain the skills and do the economic activities, earn for themselves. There is no talk about the maternity leave. Right? So fifth one, second statement is wrong. It is not by the President of India, rather it is by the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Second statement should not be there. First statement, yes, correct. So that is the objective of this committee, Privilege Committee, which investigate the breach of privileges. So answer is A. So Madhu and Srinath, you have answered this correct. Yeah, fine. So that is about today's session. I hope you have enjoyed the session. So try to revise regularly. Have a great evening. Thank you.